Hi, single ladies. Welcome to today's episode. Before we jump right in, I just wanted to put a little thing in the beginning. I used to use my microphone that would clip on my shirt, but since moving, I lost the charger. So I've been using my wired headphones that have the mic. But of course, that moves around sometimes. So in the beginning of this episode, you may hear some scratching. It does stop in the beginning, so please stick with the episode. It is a very good one. You will enjoy it. You don't want to miss it. So please stick with it. We're going to work on finding that charger or even getting a better mic. But in the meantime, please stick with this episode. I promise you will love it. Thank you, and I will see you on the other side. Hello, ladies. Welcome back to the Dear Single Women's Podcast. I'm your host, Shanintra, and I thank you, as always, for being here. The Dear Single Women's Podcast is a podcast for single women who are healing, growing, living, and loving their lives on their terms. If that sounds like you or someone you know, please like, share, subscribe. Follow the podcast. Please rate me 5 stars. I appreciate all of the support. So you can see from the title of this episode, I have a question for you. Is it temporary? What's temporary? The drought. If you're in a drought like me, if you've been single for a little bit, even if you've just been dating, but like nothing serious, if you still seeking that one and done relationship, the one that you're gonna have from now till forever, if you're still looking for that, is it temporary? This is a group assignment. No speaking from a position of authority here on this one. I'm asking, is it temporary? Do you think that you will be a single woman forever? Or do you know that your person is coming? I waver on this. Sometimes I think I know, yeah, he's coming. It's going to happen. God's going to do it. And then sometimes I just have those moments where I'm like, is this temporary or is this like just my future? Will I be doing this Dear Single Women podcast until I'm 65 and don't know how to use the technology at that point? I kid, but I also do wonder. What I really want to talk to you about is, how do you deal with the lack? How do you wait well? Because it's not easy. It's really not. There are so many times where I'm okay, I'm doing all right, I'm busy, I'm booked and busy, as they say, right? I'm doing my podcast, I'm working, I'm in school, I'm adjusting, healing, growing, all that good stuff. And then, there's times where I feel like, am I just keeping busy for the sake of keeping busy? Like, I don't think so, because I like ease. Ever since I started my healing journey, I really have come to embrace ease and not being booked and busy, because that's been my entire life. Literally, like, I was an overachiever even in elementary school. So if the paper said write, if the homework assignment said write 2 pages, I wanted to write 5. So I've always literally been booked and busy. But since I started healing, since my healing started taking effect, I would say maybe in like 2023, I didn't want to be booked and busy. I wanted to pour into myself. But, life goes on. Life just is busy. So I get it. But sometimes I wonder if single women use that as a way to deal with what they are lacking in their lives. What really matters, right? this stuff, it matters for the moment, but I think love and knowing someone and being known by someone, I think those kinds of things are the most important things. I think those are the things that matter. I think those are the things that last. I think the feelings you feel about someone special to you, that's something that will come back up a year from now. I won't remember what I ate a year from now. I will remember how I felt by someone special a year from now. And so I feel like it has a lot of value. You know, I really do. I don't know, maybe I am just a lover at heart, but I really do. I see the value in this thing. And so I think not having it for so long, it's a hard thing to adjust to. And sometimes I just wonder, is this actually temporary? Or will I be just adjusting to this in the different decades of my life? We don't know. And if you've ever wondered that as well, you don't know either. And so I'm wondering if maybe a more productive or helpful, it doesn't have to be productive, but more helpful, beneficial to you and your emotions is to spend that time thinking of, well, how do I deal with the lack? How do I handle this in the good moments when I'm feeling quite fine with it? Because we all have those moments, right? We're not out here like crying our eyes out or crying at all. Like, we're not out here feeling sad 24/7 about it. But we should be honest that there are those times where you really see it and feel it. And I think sometimes we always feel like we have to be like strong and that we have to present a certain way. But it's okay to feel the lack. It's okay to worry. It's okay to wonder. It's okay to be sad. All of that is okay because you are missing something. And the question is just, well, how do you deal with it? How do we cope? And I don't know, but I'm not going to even talk about that really. If I did say that earlier, then my bad. Because I'm just feeling like, but wait, why we got to move on? Why we got to move on? I think this might be the first episode I've done like this, but it's real. Like, let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be vulnerable. Why do we have to just say cope, 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 cope? Figure out ways to be okay. Why? Why can't we sit here for a little bit? You, me, and your universal sisterhood around the world listening to this podcast right now. Why do we have to cope? Why can't we just sit together and feel those feelings? Why can't we collectively share our sense of loss and concern and worry about our futures? Why do we have to always move on? If we can't be real with each other, single ladies, then who can we be real with, right? I felt it in many ways. I felt it just this week. And I'm recording this on a Tuesday. I don't know when you'll hear it. But I'm recording this on a Tuesday. Actually, I'll give you the date. This is, I'm getting ahead of my podcast episodes because I'm serious about producing content for y'all. So today is Tuesday, November 12th. So I don't know when you will get this episode, but today's Tuesday, November 12th. And it's only Tuesday, and I've already, 2 instances, really felt a sense of like loss, or it's not loss. I felt a sense of, I could see where a guy would fit. And I don't always get those experiences, but it was like, sometimes I'll think about it like, oh, it'd be nice to have a guy to do blank. But I had 2 experiences so far this week where I felt like, man, I'm missing something. One was as simple as looking for a parking spot. Where I live, parking's terrible. And I'd gotten a spot, but it was a spot where I had to pay. And I didn't want to pay the meter for hours. It would have been like probably over $10 just to pay the meter to park. And I didn't want to do that. And so I'm sitting in my car and I'm looking to see down the block if there's a spot. And someone moves out, but I'm not sure if it's a spot or not. So I go, put on my 4-ways so I don't get a ticket because I didn't pay the meter. And I go and I run up there to look. And it turns out the person was not in a spot that I could go in. So then I got to run back to my car. And I was just like, I literally said it out loud. It would be nice to have a buddy to do this with me. And I felt that in that moment. Like sometimes you just practically need 2 people, right? Like I stay in the car, maybe you stay in the car, I run, we look. Maybe you get here before me, you look, see if there's a spot, you hold it, I'm on my way, I'm pulling up, right? Sometimes, almost all the time, I'll have to take a chance, drive up, and see if it was a spot, and oh no, it wasn't, but then I left the other one, right? So now I just leave it there and run. But how great would it be to have a buddy, somebody to do that with me, somebody to share that burden with me? So you feel it just organically, moments where that your man would fit, and you're like, you feel that sense of space. So that was one. And then another one was, I'll be honest, just good old sex. Just, I don't know, just feeling one of my feelings. And I'm like, man, feel that space where my guy would fit perfectly there. And I don't know. You just wonder, is this forever? Is this temporary? What do I do with this lack? It's a lack here. There's something missing. What do I do with it? Group assignment. I have ideas, but I don't know. I think I kind of just want to live here for a minute. I feel like sometimes we rush to the solution for things without feeling what you feel in the moment and not allowing yourself to feel the full range of your emotions. We don't have to solve every problem. Sometimes we don't always have to think of a solution to every problem. I like to be solution oriented. That's just me, right? As a teacher, you're teaching to get to the answers, right? You're not just in the ether hanging out, although that's good. But sometimes when you do that, you get to even deeper answers, and just by letting things kind of hang in the air. And perhaps that application is here. Perhaps we will get to an answer someday. But for now, let's just hang out. Let's just feel that. That sense of lack. This would definitely it's a group assignment, so it would definitely be good in a group setting, whether it be I'm live and people are commenting, people are writing in the chat, or even better, have a panel come up. I may follow up on it in the future, But I think there is something very healthy and good about community care, about bearing one another's burdens, not trying to rush anyone past it, but just acknowledging in sisterhood and single womanhood that you relate to me and I relate to you. That you've been there and I've been there. That you're feeling it and I'm feeling it, right? Maybe kiki, girls, there's something in the air because I'm also feeling that right now. And, you know, but I can feel you, my wonderful audience out there, in this moment too. Because I know you've been there. There is something universal about this experience. And I know that you've been here. And I know that there's solidarity in relating to each other and not feeling like you're the only one, because you're not. And I hope my vulnerability today has made you feel seen and in camaraderie, because that's definitely the case. You're not the only one. It's not easy. I question, is it temporary or is it forever? Sometimes I just wish, you know, that you've ever seen that meme where it's like door A, you get like a boatload of money you can't spend in a lifetime, and door B, like you can go back in time knowing what you know now, or door C, like you meet the love of your life and you live happily ever after forever. I'm always choosing door C. I don't want the cash and everything else is the same. I want money, but something else got to come along with that. And I don't really need to know. I'll take what I know now and I'll apply it forward in my future. And I'll also give it to my future daughters and sons. I don't need to go back. What's done is done. What happened, happened. Everything I've experienced has made me who I am. I don't need to go back. But door, letter C, yeah, I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that. Thank you for hanging out with me in this space. Thank you for hearing my heart and for sharing in sisterhood with me. And let me know if you're interested. Maybe we will do a panel, or I can go live and we could talk and just feel that together and talk about our experiences and where we see the lack and where we wonder, is it temporary or is it forever? And how do you console, or just even having that community care to console and feel each other and bear one another's burdens? I think that's important. Thank you for listening, ladies, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Dear Single Women's Podcast.